Are you guys familiar with flock cameras? Do you have them in your neighborhood? Have you seen them? Dave, what do you think about flock cameras? Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think of flock cameras? I'm going to show you what a flock camera is. Have you seen one of these cameras out in the streets in your neighborhood? Let me know in the comments if you've seen a flock camera. Okay, just let me know if you've seen one of these type of devices on your pole, on the light pole, or right at the street light. Have you seen any of those before? Just let me know in the comments. Dave, what do you think about flock cameras?
I have seen where a crime has been committed in a county and they got the plate off the car and they tracked that car across county lines. And so instead of having the police chasing somebody at 100 miles an hour and maybe causing worse damage or an accident, they just track it on flock. And when that car parks, over in that next county, they've already alerted the county, this is the car that we're following. And when they park to go into wherever they got to go, the police just get there and arrest them. So I think from that aspect of it, I like flock. Now I'm hearing that they are also looking at that and watching people in the background and watching to see if they are doing something suspicious, and we can be profiled that way. That's the negative side of it. But overall, you got to take the good with the bad, and I'm going to side on the good side of that.
Okay, well, let me tell you what's going on. Flock safety surveillance cameras go way beyond reading license plates these days, all right? These automated license plate readers, that's what they're actually, that you would see passing by the schools, and you would see the camera flash if you're speeding or something like that. Well, now they're using AI to track unique car features like dents, roof racks, and even bumper stickers. And they also track pedestrians by their clothing. They said a police officer can literally just type in the description, a man in a New York Knicks hat, white shorts, and a blue shirt, and all of a sudden the flock camera can pull down the data of anybody that's got that, and then now they can kind of match the description of who they're looking for. They're also saying it can also listen for noises with their program called Raven, like gunshots, illegal street racing, and fireworks, and not only that, even screaming. So maybe somebody in distress. It captures 50 seconds of the recording just for the evidence, all right? They have a drone program. This is all in the flock system, everybody, that can be dispatched to the exact location that they say, hey, we need to be at the corner of A Street and B Boulevard, and it will literally dispatch the drone so it can surveillance the area. So while this helps police catch criminals, it also creates a major privacy concern because private citizens and private businesses and homeowners associations can access the network, and data has been shared with federal agencies without city permission. Homeowners associations can install these cameras at the neighborhood entrances, so that way they can see who's coming in and who's not supposed to be coming in, especially late at night, to instantly alert police if a vehicle is flagged for burglary, theft, or outstanding warrant, and the car enters the area. Maybe a parent or a grandparent has dementia and they drive off and gets confused. Family members can give police the car details, and the system can locate the vehicles across counties in seconds using its fingerprint-like roof rack or scratch. So, hey, he got a pickup truck with a dent. Look for all black pickup trucks with a dent. And then they're also saying if you're a small business owner, you can link a shoplifter to a specific vehicle profile, allowing the police to track patterns across multiple business sites without watching hours of video footage manually. And they also say that the cameras integrate with the software that can automatically deploy drones to 911 calls, coordinate or camera alerts, and this gets eyes on the emergency scene before the paramedics or the police arrive. And it says if a hit and run occurs near a camera, the system can identify the exact car that caused the damage by searching for its color, make, and specific body damage. This provides clear proof for insurance companies. Now, if you drive to the grocery store, visit a church, or walk your dog, your daily routine is recorded in a searchable database. A complete stranger with access to the system, like an HOA board member or a private security guard, can look up your vehicle profile or your clothing description to see exactly where you go and when you leave your house. This is what these flock cameras can do. I got to ask the audience, and then I'm going to ask Dave his thoughts on all of this. All right. What worries you the most about flock safety's expanded surveillance? If you're watching on your phone, tablet, or computer, let us know. 1, audio recording in public spaces. 2, centralized real-time dashboards. Abuse or stalking by police officers. Private cameras joining the network. And 5, not worried, safety comes first. 1 through 5, let me know in the comments. What worries you most about flock safety's expanded surveillance? Dave, what do you think?
I'm going to go with number 5. Again, because I believe that the technology is already around us anyway, whether they're watching us via the flock system or if they're listening to our conversations on our devices. They're listening to us anyway. And I think it could certainly be abused. There's no doubt about that. As with any type of technology, if it gets put in the wrong hands, people will misuse it. They will use it for their own personal gain. And that's just a part of the price of technology. And, it's a scary thing. I think we're moving into an area where there's going to be so much surveillance that it is going to be an invasion of privacy. But I always think along these lines, if you ain't doing anything wrong, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Now, the profiling piece, that's real. That could happen. But, just try not to be doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. Don't be out there looking criminal-like. And I know that some people says this is criminal-like enough. I get that. But, I think the safety outweighs it more so than the bad stuff.
Well, once again, this is what the cameras look like. And Hit the Spot 1006 says, yeah, I've seen them. They just gave me $100 ticket.
Oh, man.
Sheila Baker says, can't say I've seen those before. Less Accident says, Hit the Spot 1006. And is the problem the cameras or the location of the cameras? I don't think it's necessarily the location of the cameras. I don't think it's necessarily the cameras, to be honest with you. I think it's what all it can do with the AI, if that makes sense. You have to look at it like this. Now it can detect the screaming of someone in distress, which is positive if somebody's being attacked, right? But then also on the flip side, you have to factor in it can, a car is drag racing down the street. I think it's more of what the AI can do. I don't care necessarily about the cameras because, like you said, if you're speeding in a school zone, you're going to get that $100 ticket.
Right.
But, to say that you can track a person, if you go to a Home Depot or Target or any of these big box retailers and you see that little flashing blue light that's at the top, and when you pull into the driveway, probably have seen these flock cameras. And now they just caught a whole criminal ring throughout 11 states, track them down by face, even with the mask on. So, yes, community policing through AI and these cameras, but like you said, will a police officer be able to just tap into the system and say, I'm interested in a young lady? Will a security guard say, I want to flirt with this person and I want to know more about them and their whereabouts, and I follow them? That's where the problem kind of lies in. The audience is saying right here, not worried. Safety comes first. Okay. Ain't no knock. No knock to it at all. I completely understand. In my opinion, this is different. This isn't that different from Ring cameras, except perhaps the location. Well, the only difference with the Ring cameras is you gave permission in your settings in the Ring camera to anybody that comes up to your door. But that doesn't mean that the person that came up to your door or came on your property gave that permission. The problem with the Ring camera is it has a wide view, right? It has that wide angle view. Mm-hmm. So anybody that's walking their dog, anybody that's playing outside as kids, or you just in the neighborhood and you're just minding your own business, they're gathering that data from you, and they did not authorize that. You can't just record people without their permission in certain states. Go ahead.
When I moved into the neighborhood that I live in now, which was many, many years ago, I had cameras out on my driveway. I have like 8 or 9 cameras throughout my house, right? Because when I was a single dad for about 5 years, I had cameras in the house because I had to go to work. and I needed to know who broke something because I could see it on the camera. So even though most of my kids are grown, I have an 11-year-old, but I reposition those cameras in places that make sense, in the backyard, in the front on my driveway. And the neighbor across the street caught me out there at my mailbox, and she said, "Hey, what is that red light up there?" And I said, "Oh, that's my camera." "Well, I don't want you taping me. I don't want you taping me or my kids." And I said, "Lady, I have no interest in taping you or your kids. That camera is faced on my driveway. So it's not facing your window. You may see the red light, but it's important that I see who's in my driveway. And that's where it is." But it made her feel uncomfortable. But again, like I said, if you ain't doing anything wrong, don't worry about it.
I get where you're coming from. And I know we're over the time that we had allotted for this article. But in all fairness, some people just are not comfortable with cameras. I'm wearing a camera right now on my glasses. So everyone's not ready for this technology. And you have to understand that you want to be mindful of people's personal space, if that makes sense. So I understand what you're saying, that if you're not doing anything, you're good. But on the flip side, you got to also be mindful of who your neighbor is, if that makes sense.
I totally agree with that. Even when we're out and we're using our glasses, I always get permission when I'm taping with my glasses, because again, that light blinks and it makes people feel uncomfortable, and it seems kind of creepy. Even though we both have this technology, I think you had the very first ones when they came out, right? You got the first generation.
Come on, man, don't be putting all my business out there. But yeah, you right.
I feel more comfortable if I'm filming, if I have my camera out and people can see it, as opposed to them seeing that blinking light.
Rivas says they just approved 20 cameras in his township of where he stays at. Hit the Spot says, "TB, don't be putting my business out there. Hey, you the one that said you got the $100 ticket. Hey, you shouldn't have been speeding. That's all I'm going." Like Mama D said, "Hey, hit the Spot 1006. Pause. You told us first." You have a surveillance in your house and you don't care. Yeah, well, like I said, I'm just trying to be respectful of everybody. I have cameras. I don't have a problem with it. I know I'm not doing nothing wrong. It is what it is. That's all I can say.
Tap in with us. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. We simplify it for you. You can't say we didn't tell you. See y'all there. Don't miss out.